Vanguard Live. My name is Ololade Adeomi. I flip into all our newspapers for today, starting with Vanguard. Major headline on Vanguard says, 50 years after Murtala Muhammad, my father treated corruption as emergency, not talking point, says AISHA Mohammed-OYEBODE. Says he was a soldier, statesman, and our hero at home. Friday, February 13th, 1976. How madmen with guns went on rampage. Muhammad's tomb, not a sight to behold. Today's leaders are not selfless like my father, says Rizika Muhammad. He was an incorruptible leader, says Aminu Wali, and cool speeches of Muhammad and Dimka. Major story can be found on page 12 and 15 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tobana, INEC 6, 873 billion naira for 2027 polls, proposes 171 billion naira 2026 budget. ADC should consider Southerners for 2027 presidency, says Amici. US accuses Chinese miners of funding terrorists in Nigeria. China embassy debunks allegations. Power outage looms amid scheduled power plant maintenance. Lower banner, he says, a security agent attempts to arrest El-Rufai at Abuja airport. Workers lay siege to NAFDAC office over sachet alcohol ban enforcement. And lastly, Malami, judge recuses self, returns case file to CJ for reassignment while we are tackling auto crashes in Lagos, says Sonwo-Olu. Away from the Vanguard, look into the Punch newspaper. Major headline on the Punch says, NAS to harmonize electoral bill Monday. Senate reps, a version of bill face final reconciliation. Real-time result transmission not same as e-voting, says Senate. Tobana says U.S. sanctions. China pushes back as federal government targets foreign illegal miners. 2027, Atiku Fayose clash over Makinde's Minas visit. INEC 6, nearly 1 trillion naira for 2027 election. Jonathan floats a 50-year age cap for African presidents. Lower banner, vandalism, causing flooding on Lagos Calabar Highway, says Umayi. Blackout fears grow over gas plant maintenance. Fubara fires commissioners. Assembly awaits new list. And lastly, on the Punch, it says El-Rufai sparks controversy after airport arrest drama. Away from that, a look into the Nation newspaper. Major headline on the Nation says, Amopiton INEC to spend 1.04 trillion naira on elections. Others. Fubara begins implementation of peace deal with ESCO dissolution. Tobana says Otedola Dangote's full production will show up naira value. United Nigeria boosts operations with 11 planes, US route. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar to import grass from Nigeria. First Lady canvasses greater unity among Nigerians. Read from The Nation, a look into the Guardian newspaper. Major headline on the Guardian says, National Assembly tightens grip on public finances amid 2027 election funding debate. Tobana, Murtala at 50. African leaders trade blames over continent wars. Gerontocracy. We must outgrow disregard for rule of law, El-Rufai says after attempted arrest. A look at the lower banner. Lower banner says Senate real-time result transmission does not translate to e-voting. Okonkwo, lack of transit facilities undermining Nigerian airlines' potential. And lastly, 4,521 MW shortfall in nationwide power supply as gas facility undergoes repair. That's all we have on the front pages of our newspaper this morning. Join us after the break for a quick analysis. Welcome if you're just joining us. This is Today in the News here on Vanguard Live. My name is Ololade Adeomi. I look into our first story for today. It says, my father treated corruption as an emergency, not a talking point, Aisha Mohammed-Oyebode says. Aisha Mohammed-Oyebode is the first daughter of late General Murtala Muhammad. The former military head of state was assassinated on Friday, February 13th, 1976. In this interview, she speaks about family, the Muritala Muhammad Foundation, MMF governance, and her career. She's a lawyer, entrepreneur, author, activist, and philanthropist. She's currently the Group Chief Executive Officer of Asset Management Group Limited and the CEO of Muritala Muhammad Foundation. She attended Queen's College, Lagos, after which she studied law at the University of Buckingham, UK, and holds an LLB honors degree. A master's in law degree is in public international law from King's College, London. For more details on this story, do go to check out our website at www.vanguardndr.com. A look into our second story. Our second story says US accuses Chinese miners of funding terrorists in Nigeria. A bill introduced in the United States House of Representatives has sparked controversy by alleging that Chinese mining companies operating in Nigeria are involved in illegal mining and funding militias. The proposed legislation, titled the Nigeria Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2026, was introduced on Tuesday by five Republican lawmakers: Chris Smith, Riley Moore, Ryan Mast, and Mario Diaz-Balart. But the Chinese embassy in Nigeria rejected the allegations, describing them as false, baseless, and damaging to China-Nigeria relations. The sponsors of the bill claimed that illegal Chinese mining operations in Nigeria engage in the stabilizing practice of paying protection money to Fulanis. They proposed that the U.S. Secretary of State work with the Nigerian government to counter what the bill describes as hostile foreign exploitation of Chinese illegal mining operations. For more details on this story, check out our website at www.vanguardndr.com. Enjoy the quoting on the show for today. Do want to follow us on all our social media platforms. As seen on your screen, for up-to-date stories, check out our website at www.vanguardndr.com. My name is Ololade Adeomi.